Hey Soundies, we're looking at using Audacity today to edit our raw recordings from church from our digital desk and get in the form where we can listen to them, deleting talking or like silences or, so we just have all basically the songs. I'm using Audacity on my Mac here. This is version 2.1.1. I think there is a later one currently out already, but if you head to the website that's there, you'll be able to download it and you'll be able to edit all the files for free. So we'll get started. Here we've got the MP3 that you get from the thumb drive from the Yamaha LS9 that we have. This is completely unedited. This is just as it is from the desk. So you can see down here the level isn't that loud, but the good thing is it's not peaking. If it was peaking, you'll be able to see that if you go to view and show clipping, I've already got it selected here, so that's useful for when, let's say for example here, this looks to be, that peak there looks to be like the loudest part of this track just at a glance. Say if we were to boost this whole track by, I don't know, like 6 dB or something, this would be over 0 dB, so that would be clipping. Don't know if we'll get to see that here. Maybe I'll do that quickly. So I'll grab that just to show here, amplify it. Let's say 6 dB. I've clicked here, allow clipping. You don't really want that. I'll get back to that later. But let's say OK. And there we go. So you see the red here. That shows that, we do have a point in our track where it is clipping. And again, that's where the option is to show that. I'll just undo here. Command Z. Okay, so we're back to normal. First step, I select the whole track. I just do that by getting the mouse, clicking this part of the track, going to Effect, Amplify. It automatically selects 4.28 here. I think the way it calculates that is, it takes the loudest part of the track, which is I think what we found before in the peaking, calculates how much it can actually amplify before we reach the point of clipping, and then that it applies that gain or volume increase, 4.28 in this case, to the whole track. So we'll just click OK. Takes a little while. Okay, and here we do have a little bit of clipping, so it doesn't work perfectly, but that is better than before. So basically we've boosted everything. It's just going to be a bit louder. So if we play through headphones or something, we won't have to boost the volume as much. But still, because of certain peaks here, the rest of the track isn't as loud as it can be. So what I like to do, and this is really helpful, I go to Effect, selecting the whole track again, and press Limiter. Now you see this menu here, this Effect drop-down menu. I've gone to Manage and disabled a number of the effects because I just don't use them that often, and so here you don't see them all listed. If you just have a new installation of Audacity with default view preferences, you'll see a whole bunch more effects. So just in case you come across that. So limiter, I'll select that. Now this will vary. Sometimes you've got an acoustic set, you amplify it, and then you find that you probably need to put a bit more input gain before we see the whole track being boosted. Let me just backpedal a little bit and explain what we're doing here. Limiting here is applying gain to an entire track, yet leaving the loudest portions of each you know, of the audio as is, so that it doesn't clip. So hopefully that makes sense. I mean, you can Google limiters and see what they do. Here we've just, I think we'll guess, yeah, we'll start with 4. So 4 for the left, 4 for the right. Hard limit is so that we avoid clipping. So that's what I choose. Limit to negative, I just say that that's the maximum volume that we can get through as a final result. So I don't want any of our audio to reach beyond negative 0.01. 0.00 is obviously the maximum. Hold, I can explain this briefly. Hold is basically the amount of time that we want to apply this effect, this limiter. 1.00 milliseconds is what I use. It just sounds best to me this way. So that's a good starting point. Apply makeup gain, no, and let's just say okay and see what happens. So if I'm correct, what we see right now, if you see here just beyond 25 minutes where it's showing that it's peaking or clipping, this should actually fix that. This will take a while. Okay, that looks pretty good to me, and you can see here no more clipping anymore throughout the track. And if we play it, it's sounding pretty good. Yeah, so basically now all I want to do is kind of go through this and edit out whatever I don't want to keep. So here I've got a bit of speaking. Let's zoom in here and just start from where the audio or where the song starts. So I'm going to click in there. So I'd basically select that, zoom out again, drag here all the way to there, hit delete, so that's gone. This button here fits project, so now this is the entire project in view. I think we've got a bit more. What's here?
Just focus on you right now.
Bit more speaking. I don't want that, so let's leave that to where does the audio end. So this is obviously a transition between 2 songs. Quietens down and then skip the speaking, and then we just go into the next one. That's good enough. Zoom out again, and I think there's more speaking here.
Give them a high five. Okay, yeah.
So just find where the speaking starts and ends, and then we just
thank you that you are here.
clip that out. Yeah. So music's still going here. Where does that end? Say around here somewhere. Zoom out again. Play that.
So what we're thinking about doing is on the fortnight between services,
still going.
Right, have a catch up of opinions or prep.
Alright, what happened? Obviously, we didn't get to record from the very beginning of that song, so that's fine. I'll just delete up until that point and show you what I do there. I'll fade in actually, so it's not just a sudden start. Still got some speaking there. Okay, delete that. So just a couple of seconds of effect. It's one of my fade in, fade out. Some of my favorite. They just work fine. So fade in over what's selected. It will just gradually increase the volume from nothing. So playing from here. There we go. It's much smoother than just suddenly hitting record. So
And
a
we've
bit
got
more
his ticket
speaking at the end
to,
here, so let's
Evan.
just try and get rid of that. So the song's ending. Where are we?
Oh, Lord God, thank you so much for this.
And we can probably stop the recording from there. So zoom in. And basically I want to cut from here right to the end. Don't need that. Delete. And so pretty sure I've removed most of what I want to remove there. It's just gone through checking. It's a pretty handy feature where when you move your mouse over the time indicator there, you can just click once and it will play from where you select. Looking good. So basically what I want to do now is just do a little, it might not be as necessary for this track here since we do have a quiet sort of start, but often you want to just select the very beginning and just fade in. So I mean often like we just did at the end there of the track where we didn't start the recording from the beginning of the last song. If it's a sudden start and it's a very loud step up in volume for a song or something, it can sort of cause a bit of a crackle or something in a lot of headphones and speakers. So even if it's like the tiniest soft volume, you know, quiet beginning of the songs, I'd still just, you know, for the sake of it, apply a fade in so that I just know that way it's always going to be quiet from the beginning and it'll just sort of fade up instead of just shocking our listeners. Okay, and then the same thing, I like to fade out. See here, it's not completely noiseless towards the end, so I'd say select from here and I fade out. That way I just we basically just want to avoid sudden steps in volume with audio starting or stopping. So fade out, and we avoid any unnecessary crackling of our listening equipment. So you can see fading out nicely. Okay, so there, that's pretty much the editing part of it done. What I do now is select the whole thing, go to File, Export, Selected Audio, click that. Song 004, that's just the default naming scheme from the LS9. I put my recordings in my Dropbox folder, so I'm going to select recording Subi Church. I'll name it Young Adults Saturday 12th November .mp3. It's quite important. This is what I select for most of our recordings this way. They're pretty long files. I mean, worship sets can be up to half an hour like this one, so 192 kbps is fine, constant, stereo, and that's good enough. You may have to go through a bit of a process of finding the encoder file, but there's information about that online. I think you've got to download some lame.dll if you're Windows, or something else if you're on Mac. But that's the file that I think is required for you to actually export to MP3, which is what we want. So that's fine here. Click Save, and then one more time click OK, and that will export. Again, takes a little while, half an hour of audio there. Okay, looks like it's been exported. Let's go find it. So in Finder, Dropbox, recordings, Super Church, Saturday 12th of, let's just make it bigger, 12th of November. It's still uploading, but we can play this.
His praise resounds as we lift.
Seems to be okay. Might be a little bit of glitching because I'm trying to do screen capture at the same time. But seems okay. And so there we have it, guys. That's how I edit our raw worship recordings to be ready for upload. Thanks.